All right, how's the lighting on this one? Nice. See if I can just adjust this out. Okay, you gotta see the rice bag though at the minimum. Come on. No? Can you see it? Okay, well, just know I'm playing with a rice bag. So this is episode, I don't even know if you'd call this an episode, but this is already the 6th video I've done where I sit here and I talk about absolutely nothing while doing some rice bag training. Nice cold water. It's also been a way for me to, I guess, stay consistent with actually getting blood flow in my arms. I'll be the first to say that I've been extremely lazy, relatively speaking, when it comes to recovery training. I'm usually the guy where I'll do my training, gym or here, and as soon as I'm done, I just move forward to my day. No stretching, just straight to regular life once I'm done. So it's been a way for me to stay consistent. I'm leaving for nationals, man, and we're Wednesday, so Thursday. I leave in 2 days. That's insane. 2 days away. Our flight leaves at 1 p.m. in the afternoon here in Victoria. I'm arriving at 11:30 p.m. on the 28th. We are kind of running into somewhat of an issue because by the time we actually show up in Gatineau, it's going to be essentially midnight. And usually with hotels, you need to check in at pretty much any time in the morning. However, because we are showing up so early, and by the time we have to leave on the 1st to go to Budapest, we are essentially paying for 2.5 days, which is completely stupid in my opinion. If you're a hotel chain, and yes, I am complaining, if you're a hotel chain, just charge the person 2 days. Don't say, well, if you're gonna be here for an extra 7 hours, we're gonna charge you 50% more. I know, small world or big world problems. So this morning, I was scrolling on YouTube, and I come across a video of Cyplenkov and Schoolboy. And part of me was like, you know what, I'm just gonna watch it later. And the other part of me was, why don't I just watch it now? So, I start the video, and honestly, I was a little bit surprised. I knew Schoolboy was strong, and well, we all know Schoolboy's strong, and we all know Cyplenkov is a beast. One of the best to ever do it. So Cyplenkov and Schoolboy, arm wrestling, right arm. I was actually surprised to see Schoolboy pin Cyplenkov. At the end of the day, we all know 10 out of 10 times Cyplenkov beat Schoolboy. However, it was essentially the first pin of the match, and like any other practice, you know, when a practice is a practice. I can't say that Cyplenkov let him, but by the way they were both pulling, Schoolboy has some torque on his back pressure. Well, more of a lat drag. And essentially what happened, for those who haven't seen it, first of all, Schoolboy's lever is obviously much taller than Cyplenkov's. Cyplenkov's hand it's big, but it's small. And so Cyplenkov, when he arm wrestles, I would assume all of you know this, or for those who don't know, doesn't really matter at this point. But Cyplenkov, he gets more in this like lat drag, supinated position just a little bit. And because he has smaller hands, it's obviously a little bit more difficult to grab Schoolboy's hand. So Schoolboy grips up, much larger individual, just from a lever standpoint, grips up, bigger hand as well. And he applies so much back pressure, and this was also in the strap, well, I think it was in the strap, yeah. And so much back pressure, and he comes in and he kind of low hands, kind of like a low hand top roll, and then he drags over and legitimately gets a pin on Cyplenkov. Disclaimer, like I've just mentioned several times, obviously Cyplenkov You know, he wasn't going at 100%, but at the same time, these guys are practicing. Now, as the match went on, I think it became more and more evident that Cyplenkov was taking over. Cyplenkov just simply has too much power. Just his back pressure is just wild. Crazy amount of lat drag. And at some point, 3, 4, 5, 6 pins in, the gap becomes closer and closer and closer and closer. And well, then Cyplenkov just takes over and it becomes extremely easy. Now, if this was a match to happen right now, we're not talking like practice or not, Cyplenkov is going to beat Schoolboy 10 out of 10 times. However, to see Schoolboy, it's a pin. Get a pin on Cyplenkov, and I know it's practice, and you don't just go into a practice and not get pinned the whole time. However, if you haven't seen the footage, seriously, check it out. It's pretty wild stuff. So I thought that was extremely interesting because as you see in this video, Schoolboy is putting so much pressure. I mean, he's going at 100%. And Cyplenkov it's not just like, oh, here you go, I let you pin me, we're going to keep going. Cyplenkov was putting some pressure, dude. He was applying some power, and you could see it in his face. His face was changing a little bit. But then, of course, you know, Schoolboy goes to do the pin again, and then he gives a little bit more back pressure. Cyplenkov's hand kind of opens up in this gripper supinated position, and then from that moment forward, Schoolboy's hand pops back just a little bit. You can see it in the video. His hand pops back, and then it's game over. He comes in closer, the gap gets wider, and then at some point, Cyplenkov is doing what he does to all of his opponents. He's literally in this back pressure position, just holding, and then easy pin on Schoolboy. Extremely impressive to see. I feel like every time I watch a Schoolboy video, the guy is up to something more and more wild in terms of just the guy. With someone like him, I feel like, and this is not to shit on Ryan Bowen. Maybe it's not even fair to use his name, but you know when you watch someone post so much content, but realistically speaking, you know when you see someone post so much content and you just assume they're getting stronger, but realistically speaking, they're not. They're just posting a ton of content. Well, I feel like in Schoolboy's position, because he is such at a high level, I feel like every time I watch his content, the guy is legitimately getting stronger. I don't know if that's just me. I wouldn't call it maybe being a casual fan of Schoolboy, but I just feel like every time I watch a video of his, the guy just gets bigger, he gets stronger. Yeah, I thought that was interesting. Man, with this rice, you literally can make it where you can move a rice bag around for 10 minutes and feel no pump. And then you go in, you either supinate, turn your hand, and just get a couple hard squeezes, and your forearms and your hands just blow up. So definitely quality over quantity in some cases. Also, I did do a East versus West 13s predictions video a while ago. Oh, it feels good. I think I had released it about a month ago, so if you guys haven't seen it, go check it out. But we have matches such as Todd Hutchins and Kostadinov coming up. We have Taranchenko and Rositz. Prudnik and Zirakashvili. That's going to be a wild match. Evgeny Prudnik, the power. Irakli, the top roll. And then you got Travis Beja on the right arm going up against Kalnichenko. That's going to be a wild match. A lot of people have Travis Beja winning that. When I originally did my prediction for Travis winning against Kalnichenko, I was being a little bit biased because I want Travis to win. But at this point, it seems like a lot of people have Travis, even though it's right hand. So we'll see. It should be, I don't know. Obviously, I want Travis to win. I definitely am a little bit biased. Then you have Daddy Can and Petrenko. Daddy Can side pressure, the hand, Petrenko's hook power. I don't know. It's going to be wild. And Petrenko has been leveling up severely. The guy's an absolute monster. And then, of course, you have Lalatin and Morozov. This will be another banger. And that's coming up on July 6th, Istanbul, Turkey. I'm going to be in Hungary for that one, which means I'm going to be pretty close to their time zone. I am thinking on doing, this is the thing though, I'm going to be on vacation and I'm going to be extremely busy. But if you guys want to see immediate reaction, I'm talking like, I'm going to watch the fight and then instant reaction and go and possibly just break the fight down. If you guys want to see that, seriously, let me know. Unfortunately, I just don't know. Like, I'm definitely going to be producing content while I'm out in Hungary, but I don't know the timeline of what the plans are, because as of now, my girlfriend's family has so much planned. I mean, besides arm wrestling. The day I show up, I'm literally going to a James Hype. No, I'm going to a festival that's headlined by James Hype. And then it's just travel, intern travel, and it's just not going to stop. So I am very hopeful, and I know I'll be producing some content, but I just don't know how much time I'm going to have on my hands, realistically speaking. However, I will be training. That's a fact. But with doing this rice bag for, this is like the 6th day now, I'm not feeling as much pain in my elbow as I stated yesterday. I was getting some pain right in here and on the exterior of this bicep. Today I haven't felt any pain. Now, can I direct it towards the rice bag? Maybe a little bit. And I originally said to myself, I wasn't going to train from now until the tournament. But I'm thinking I might just rip up a leg day tonight, hit the sauna tomorrow with maybe a full body. But when I say a full body, I'm just talking like blood flow. And yeah, I think I'll probably just do some blood flow. Definitely hit the sauna. Man, it's hot in here. Yeah, we got East versus West coming up. We have King of the Table. Be another banger. I wonder if I'll do some predictions for that. And then I was supposed to, I mentioned this a while ago, but I was supposed to possibly have a super match in the fall against an opponent here in BC on the mainland. And there's also a tournament happening October 12th at the same time, well, in the same time frame. And part of me, I just don't know if I'm going to do it. I'll have my pilot's license way before that time. So if the weather's nice, I might just rent a plane and then document that whole trip and just make it like a wild like arm wrestling trip, film the whole thing. Give you guys an experience that you guys have not seen yet, I can promise. But other than that, I don't know if I'm going to compete in the fall. Very high likelihood I'm headed to Florida. I don't know if it's December. Excuse me. I don't know if it's going to be September, October, November, or December. But if I do go, which I think it's likely, we are headed to Orlando, and I'm supposed to be meeting up with Ternenko. Possibly Alex Toproll, the other Alex Toproll. And it would be nice too if I get the chance to pull with Sarah Backman. I think that would be extremely cool as well. All to figure out as we get a little bit closer. I know Chance Shaw is hosting a tournament in Daytona and in Miami August 7th. I just don't know if there's going to be another one hosted. Oh, I think the other one's in November. So we'll see if it happens. It is close to Christmas. I could possibly, the girlfriend and I could possibly go to Florida right before Christmas. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see after this trip is over to come back, let the body reset. I have never done any fasting. And recently I saw Devin do a fast, and he was talking about how Jody's been doing it for many, many years. And I can't say I'm inspired by Devin's train of thought on this, because he did have very good things to say about this. But it did kind of make me think a little bit that, I've been someone who eats a lot of food for, well, my whole life. And what comes with eating a lot of food is a lot of the time you'll eat extremely unhealthy. Not that it really matters, because I actually just got my blood work done, and they said from like my fats in my body is actually extremely healthy. But I have never fasted before, because after 2 or 3 hours of activity or not doing anything, I just start to get hungry. And the hunger alone will literally make me eat anything. So it's extremely difficult for me. But when I get back from Europe, part of me wants to do some type of reset. If it's quitting alcohol, if it's taking a break from caffeine, if it's fasting or doing all three. And part of doing that is lowering the dosage on pretty much all my supplements, being extremely careful with food, resetting my body to natural levels, and really just trying to take maybe a different approach to arm wrestling in the next 6 months to a year, which is part of the other reason why I am highly debating on doing a tournament in the fall. Now, I will have a super match, I'm pretty confident for sure, for the Vancouver Armwrestling Club. For the Vancouver Island Arm Wrestling here on the island for number 1. As of right now, it's baby hands, right hand overall. You guys have seen him, he's a 6'5", 260-pound monster, extremely strong dude. That was talked about, we were talking about doing this like way earlier in the year, like way before. We were talking about doing this like right before Christmas, that after Nationals coming up, we would plan a super match in the fall with a whole other rankings for left hand here on Vancouver Island, and see if we can change up the rankings by who's gotten stronger, who's gotten weaker, just to see where we're at. And then possibly next year, it's gonna be difficult, but possibly next year we might even do Vancouver Island versus Vancouver and see who has the better arm wrestlers as of now. But they do have a lot more experience. However, we have a lot of guys here on the rise. Whoa. But that's gonna be it for me. Oh, my hips. Oh my gosh. I'll see you guys in the next one.